Americans have spoken, and they are very clear of who they want to occupy the Oval Office for the next 4 years. And I had done videos showing Harris poised to become the next POTUS. And the amount of reactions that I've received and comments in those videos, until YouTube had to come to my rescue and filter the most extreme reactions. That is what has necessitated me to do this video. Of course, I have to take responsibility for that wrong projection. It's when you are wrong that you pick many lessons. When you are right, you hardly realize where you went wrong. And perhaps I should have indicated that I am non-partisan in these elections. In fact, I'm recording from miles and miles away, almost 10,000 miles in Kenya. The elections in the United States have shocked the world. The results have shocked even Americans themselves. It shows that Trump supporters are not proud of him. They are not proud of him to come out and speak openly in his support. So they were keeping their cards under the table and only came out to shock everybody when it was election time. Even pollsters are shocked. Many high-rated pollsters had shown Harris to be the one to carry the day in these elections. They were showing many pathways for Harris to win, many easy avenues for Harris to win. Even in the battleground states, Harris was the one who was shown to be favored. Trump only had a lead in Georgia and Arizona. But for Trump to come and sweep all the 7 battleground states from Nevada, North Carolina, Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, it has shocked many people. And even the pundits who are in live television discussing this, I was listening to live debates on TV. Pundits who had been called to come and discuss the elections were shocked when they saw Trump sweeping everything, you know. And it shows that America is overrated because all the information that I was getting from the state websites that showed that Harris was the better candidate and was leading in most of these states have turned out to be wrong. It shows that the United States intelligence is overrated.
Tell me, when you see places boarded up like this, does that make you nervous?
Kinda, but I don't anticipate any violence or anything if Harris wins, and Trump either. But
I hope it's a win for Kamala, but if it's not, I don't know. I don't know. We might have a civil war.
Because how can they have such information and then it turned out to be the exact opposite? And so in many other areas that they may come and give information, people will not take them seriously and before more proper scrutiny is done. And Trump is a master of surprises. Even in 2016, if you remember the race against Hillary Clinton, not many believed that he was going to win that election. And indeed, he even lost the popular vote. But he won the presidency. So let's accept it that it's a shock. and we have to take it as it is. I've heard many people say that the win for Trump is a vote of showing that Americans are not ready for a female president. Nothing can be far from the truth. America have had 47 elections, and many of those elections men have also lost. So to say that Americans voted Harris out because they are not ready for a female president cannot be true. Maybe he was just not a stronger candidate. He was a weaker candidate in those elections. And if they could have presented another person who is stronger, a lady, she could have just won. So there are lessons to be learned when something like that has happened. Those are the things, that's the area that Democrats need to focus on. The lessons in these elections. Maybe it was wrong to swap candidates mid-elections, you know. Maybe a candidate should go for the primaries before being cleared to go and face the electorate, which did not happen for Harris. Those are some of the lessons that I want the Democratic Party to pick and take seriously, you know, as opposed to just saying that Americans are not ready for a female candidate. Maybe Harris was weak because he was facing a candidate who was impeached twice during his first term, you know, a candidate who was very unfamiliar with things, you know. He was even during the COVID-19 pandemic saying that people should swallow vaccines instead of being injected, you know. He was not in touch with many things. And if he could still win against Harris, there could have been maybe a case of a weaker candidate. And I've heard people say that, or wonder how he won. How did he win? How did he win? I think the question should change from how he won to why he won. Maybe there's something special about Trump that we don't know. The question is why? Why did he win? There is something we don't know about Trump that is now coming out to be very serious. And now the elections are over and we now need to move on. It's about how we can move on now. And I like the message from Biden, the President Joe Biden. He has called on Americans to stop seeing fellow Americans as Republicans and Democrats, as one who voted for this and one who voted for this. You know, we need to move on. Also, the message from Harris when he was conceding defeat. And I've seen many people criticizing his concession speech. And I'm going to compile all the concession speeches from 1996 up to these elections. He almost was saying the same thing that other elections losers have been saying, you know. It's only that when you lose, it's easier to poke holes in everything now that happened. I'm going to put that video of concession speeches at the end of this video. People are even now easily blaming. Blame game is being thrown everywhere. People blaming even Barack Obama for asking Biden to step down for Harris mid-elections, you know. People even blaming Harris for picking Tim Walz as the vice president. So let's stop all those blame games and now focus on the lessons learned. People are even questioning the democracy in the United States of America. You know, democracy in the United States of America is still strong, and it has been demonstrated, as opposed to what people think. You know, the fact that even the women that were thought to be supporting Harris turning out to vote for Trump in higher percentages. You know, the Latino vote, Trump capturing a bigger percentage. The under 30 youth in the United States turning out for Trump. You know, that's democracy. It shows that they can make their own decisions, as opposed to what media was throwing out there. And I think I was listening more to the West Side media, you know, and that was not enough to sway Americans. So democracy is intact. We should not doubt that. So I thank you. If you've watched this video up to this point, consider subscribing for more political talk that we are going to have in the coming videos. Let's accept what has happened, and I like the message from Barack Obama with the letter that he wrote to Americans. Let's embrace each other and move on with the election the way it has come out. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you so much.
This is painful.
Please.
I have said repeatedly in this campaign that the president is my opponent, not my enemy, and I wish him well, and I pledge my support in whatever advances the cause of a better America. That's what the race was about in the first place, a better America as we go into the next century.
I accept the finality of this outcome, which will be ratified next Monday in the Electoral College. And tonight, for the sake of our unity as a people and the strength of our democracy, I offer my concession. I also accept my responsibility, which I will discharge unconditionally, to honor the new president-elect and do everything possible to help him bring Americans together in fulfillment of the great vision that our Declaration of Independence defines and that our Constitution affirms and defends.
And I wish you know how much that I could have brought this race home for you, for them. And I say to them now, don't lose faith. What you did made a difference. And building on itself, we go on to make a difference another day. I promise you, that time will come. The time will come, the election will come.
A little while ago, I had the honor of calling Senator Barack Obama to congratulate him, on being elected the next president of the country that we both love. In a contest as long and difficult as this campaign has been, his success alone commands my respect for his ability and perseverance. But that he managed to do so by inspiring the hopes of so many millions of Americans who had once wrongly believed that they had little at stake or little influence in the election of an American president is something I deeply admire and commend him for achieving. This is an historic election, and I recognize the special significance it has for African Americans and for the special pride that must be theirs tonight.
Thank you. I have just called President Obama to congratulate him on his victory. His supporters and his campaign also deserve congratulations. I wish all of them well.
We have seen that our nation is more deeply divided than we thought. But I still believe in America, and I always will. And if you do, then we must accept this result and then look to the future. Donald Trump is going to be our president. We owe him an open mind and the chance to lead.
And we were getting ready for a big celebration. We were winning everything, and all of a sudden it was just called off. The results tonight have been phenomenal, and we are getting ready. I mean, literally, we were just all set to get outside and just celebrate something that was so beautiful, so good. Such a vote, such a success. The citizens of this country have come out in record numbers. This is a record. There's never been anything like it, to support our incredible movement.
Now, I know folks are feeling and experiencing a range of emotions right now. I get it. But we must accept the results of this election. Earlier today, I spoke with President-elect Trump and congratulated him on his victory. I also told him that we will help him and his team with their transition, and that we will engage in a peaceful transfer of power.